Being vulnerable is not a weakness, as you may have very well been taught. Instead, it's a power that allows you to elevate your abilities as a leader and to lift up your team. Let me paint a picture for you real quick. Being vulnerable does not mean crying into a tub of ice cream at night all by your lonesome because you cracked your phone, your car popped a tire, and you got dumped all in one day. And this also doesn't mean then wallowing in that pity and telling your team all about it. This just causes concern on their behalf on if you'll actually be effective in your role when everything seems to just be going wrong. My name is Michael Klukas, and I help leaders improve their life and career by keeping everything simple. So here's how I describe vulnerability. Vulnerability is a strength of self-awareness which can be communicated clearly to others with reassurance. Here instead is another picture. Again, the cracked phone, the car troubles, the deep relationship troubles. You aren't going to be firing on all cylinders, and no one would expect you to, because that is a lot going on, especially in such a short amount of time. Instead of drowning your team in your sorrows, knowing that there is a lot going on, you are honest with them. You're upfront with them, getting ahead of the curve, but doing so in a way that's very reassuring to them. And here's what that could sound like. Hey everyone, thank you so much for taking a quick moment out of your day. I know you're all very busy. There's just been a lot that's been going on with me at the current moment, so I unfortunately may not be firing on all cylinders and be able to give my best at this current point in time. However, just give me a couple days. By the end of the week, I'll be getting myself back on track. And I just want to say thank you all so much for your patience. I will still be doing my best to support you in any way that I can. For those of you who have been taught that a leader is always strong, they're unyielding, they're uncompromising, ask yourself, when something seemed wrong, when something seemed off, and you asked them about it and they got angry or they stonewalled you, how likely were you to want to ask the next time something seemed to be off? I'm gonna assume probably not as willing, and for good reason too. And that's why it's so important that we really do hammer in this new way of thinking about leadership, that vulnerability itself is not a weakness. Instead, it's one of the most powerful strengths that you can develop in your career as a leader. And comment below, how do you guys show vulnerability in your personal or professional lives? I want you guys to be able to inspire others to really get comfortable with this idea of being open and vulnerable and honest. Let's reframe this notion of vulnerability as a weakness. Dr. Claire Weeks has a quote that says, "Strength is not born from strength. Strength can only be born from weakness. So be glad for your weaknesses now. They are the beginning of your strengths." Being open, being vulnerable does not make you weak. In fact, it's one of the strongest things you can do, and it will truly level up your ability to lead effectively, level up your team, and level up the culture you want to develop, because you're human. You need to connect, and you need to be open and honest with those in your care. Keeping everything simple, be sure to check out my video on situational leadership. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day out there, and I will see you all in the next video.